Mm. GS paper 3 men's answer writing. Hello, we have to discuss about that. Question number first. The faster economic growth requirement increase share of the manufacturing sector in GDP, particularly of MSME in comments on the presented policies of the government in this regard. Answer in 150 words. Introduction. Micro, small and medium enterprises (MSP) and turn as the engines of the growth, and for India has played a prominent role in the development of the countries in terms of the creating employment opportunities. The MSME sector in India the contributed around 30% to the country and GDP. The MSME sectors also the contributed over 40% of the India export, 45% to the manufacturing, and 110 millions job opportunities, and second largest employers after the agriculture body. The connection between the faster economic and growth manufacturing and MSME employee generation. Since the enterprises swelling in this the sector requirement low capitals to start the business, it is the created hug employees opportunities for many employed youth. Economic stabilities in terms of the growth and the leverages exports. Micro, small and medium enterprises (MSP) are the growth and the accelerators of the Indian economic and contributing significant to the country's and gross domestic product (GDP), reducing regionals imbalance. It help in the industrializations of rural and backward areas and thereby reducing regional imbalanced and assuring a more equitable and distributions of national income and wealth. Complementary to large industries as in Lurley and units and MNCs, and today are the buying semi-finished and auxiliaries product, and for the small enterprises, and for example buying clutches and the brakes by the automobiles companies. Innovation MSME and the promote innovation by providing an opportunity for budding entrepreneurships to help them build creative compounds product and thereby the boost competitions and in the business and the fuel growth. Present policies of the government to boost the manufacturing sector. Make in India initiatives. The government of India launched the Make in India competition to boost manufacturing. This the innovations aim to the promotes domestic manufacturing across the various sector and the encourage foreign direct investment (FDI) and recent ban on the laptop imports to the promotes and laptops manufacturing in India. Ease of doing business initiatives such as the implementations of the goods and services tax (GST), insolvency and the bankruptcy courts (IBP). BC and digital platforms like the single window and interface for the facilities trade and gift have streamlined and the process making easier for MSME to the operate. In infrastructure development, the government has initiative infrastructure development projects such as the Bharatmala and the Sagarmala programs, and which the focused on the road and port connectivity. Also the development of various industries corridors and like the Delhi Mumbai industrial corridors and DMIC. Policies such as Policies such as the product and linked incentives PLI scheme for various sectors and including the electronics and the pharmaceuticals attract global manufacturing to set up the productions and the units in India, raising and accelerating MSME performance and ramp. Programs launched in 2013 and 2014. This the initiative has other budget allocation of raised 6,000 crores and aims to the offer and both the financial and technical assessment to MSME. Its primary goal is to enhance the qualities, technologies, adaptations, innovations, and capabilities and market reach of those enterprises. Export promotion and promoting the engagement of MSMEs in the global trade through the provision of export incentives and simplification of export related and procedures. For instance, facilitating and duty free import of the capital's good and for the export production views the scheme like the export and promotions capitals goods and EPCG programs be forward. Access to credit, the government of India and the bank should design and plan and the message to the widen easy hustling. Free access to credit, the establishment and of the mudras and micro unit development and refinance agency Ltd bank. Regulatory reforms and the RBI should bring stringent and norms for the non-performing assets and NPA, and it will help curb loan and the defaulters and the motivates and the potential goods debt. Promoting research and the development, and there should be the proper research and the development in respect of the innovation method of the production and serving rendering public procurement. The government should encourage and the procurement program and credit and performance rating and extensive marketing supports to the revive the growth of SHIC units. Human capital skill development and imparting training to MSME the workers is a crucial step to the increase the productivity of the sector. Conclusion: the MSME sector is the backbone of the Indian economic structure and has a very important role in the bettering it from global economic shocks and the advertisings. It is the imperative to the recognize and give the impetus and to those homegrown and the business and the enterprises. What is the status of the digitalizations in the Indian economic and examine the problems faced in this the regard and suggest improvement. Answer in 150 words. Introduction. India digital transformation has been the remarkable in the recent years with the rapid adaptations of the smartphone and increase the internet connectivity, and the government pushed the towards the digital economic, and it has the opened up tremendous opportunity for economic growth across various sectors of the economic body. Status of the digitalization in Indian economic and digital payments. The UPI used the Bhim Bharat interface for money app has been the become widely popular, enabling and secure and the convenient peer-to-peer transactions. Transaction in August 2023 and with other transaction value of the INR 15.18 and 204.77 bin and e-government the Digital India program and has made the significant and stride in providing e-governance services initiative like the e-visas and the digital Local system has the streamlined government and services, reducing the paperwork and the enhancing accessibilities. E-commerce India's has e-commerce market is projected to reach and 200 billions, and by the 2026 major players like the Flipkart and Amazon has expanded theirs reach. The COVID-19 and pandemic accelerated and the adoptions of online shopping. Startup ecosystem in India is home to the burgeoning startup ecosystem since India first unicorn in 2011, and India is now home to 110 startup unicorn who are the collectively values at the 347s and been including the companies like the Paytm, Ola and Zomato. The success of this unicorn demonstrations India's potential as other technology-driven entrepreneurship hubs. Financial inclusions and digital financial services provided access to bank for the unbanked, and the Jan Dhan Yojana initiative resulted in millions of the bank account and being the open, promoting financial inclusion. Broadband and internet usage in India. There has been other notable uprisings in broadband adoptions, resulting in other total of bad broadband and internet usage. In India, there has been other notable uprisings in broadband adoption, resulting in other total of the 765 million mobiles and broadband subscriber as of the 2021. This surge has led to other substantial rises in data consumptions per individuals and member of the generation Z on average is dedicated approximately 8 hours daily to online activities. Problem faced in the digitization the economy. Digital divided despite program the digital divided and the persist, and with the rural areas having the limited access to the internet and technology. Around 50% of the population is still not online. Privacy concern. With the rise in the digital transaction and data sharing, concern about the privacy and the data security are significant. The personal loan. Cybersecurity as digital increase the risk of the cyber fraud and the attack states, and India witnessed 13.91 lakhs and cybersecurity incidents in 2022, and the average cost incurred and due to the data breach in India ranks and third with the 2.32 million skill gap. The rapid pace of the technological change and requires other skill workforce. Only around 42% of India workforce and the possesses and digital skills, and in facing the need for the widespread and digital library and the upskilling. Regulatory complexity is at the navigating and complex and digital regulation taxations on e-commerce and the intellectual properties issues can be the challenging for the business, and despite several measures taken by the government, startups in India continues to the face regulatory challenges. Infrastructure readiness, ensuring high-speed internet access and the reliable digital infrastructure remains a challenge, particularly in rural areas, and disruptions and digitalizations and disrupt traditional business and models, and leading to the challenges in certain industries and job market. Traditional retailers, for examples, face competition from e-commerce giant. Measures needed broadband expansions and the accelerate and effort to the exports. Expand broadband connectivities in rural and the remote regions, and public-private partnerships can play a significant role in the achieving and these goals. And the digital library programs impacted widespread and digital library programs and targeting both urban and rural population. This will empowers and the individuals and to the access the utilize digital services effectively, e.g. and Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan PMDGD PMG DISA. Data protection laws enact and the robust data protection laws and the regulations to the safeguard individuals' privacy and ensure responsibilities data holding, data handlings and by the organization digital persons. Data Protection Act 2023. Cyber security framework strengthened and cyber security infrastructure and awareness to the mitigate cyber threat, and the collaborations between the government agencies and the private sector is crucial in this regard. National Cyber Security Policy 2021 encourages MES and to adopt the digitals and tools and e-commerce and platforms by offerings incentives and training programs, and this can boost their the competitiveness in the digital age. Government services continue effort to the digitize and government services, making them the accessible and users friendly. Promote the use of digital identifications method like Aadhaar for seamless access. Conclusion. Digitalization has the possibilities and the impacted India's economic growth. However, the ensuring widespread and access to the digital opportunities is essential. Addressing challenges and investing in technologies can sustain growth and enhance citizens' welfare. How does e-technology help farmers in the production and marketing of agricultural produce? Explain it. E-technology encompasses the internet and the associated information technologies, and it is the play the pivotal role in enhancing agriculture, a vital sectors in India, crucial for food security, sustainable development and poverty reduction. Hmm. E-technology helping farmers in the production and precision farming. E-technology can be used to the implemented precision farming technique, and which involve using the data and sensors to optimize the use of inputs and such as the water, fertilizer and pesticides. This can lead to increased crops yield and reducing the environment impact by the forecasting and crop monitoring. E-technology can provide farmers and with access to real-time weather and updated and crops monitoring tools. Kisan Suvidha mobile app. Agricultural inputs. E-technologies and platform can connect and farmers and with the superior suppliers of agricultural inputs and such as seeds, fertilizers and pesticides. SBI Yono Krishi app. Agricultural manufacturing. E-technologies and platforms can also connect the farmers and with the supply of agriculture manufacturing. This can help farmers to rent or purchase the machineries and they need to improve their productivities, and with the Tringo Mahindra goes online to offer the transfers and on rent. Cultivation policies and the sustainability marketing and monitoring equability. E-technology helping the farmers in marketing of agricultural productions. E-commerce platform. E-commerce platform can help the farmers to sell their the produce the directly to the consumers. This can the help and farmers to get the better prices for their the produce and to reduce their the reliance on the middleman. Market intelligence. Intelligence e-technologies platforms can provide farmers and with access to the market intelligence such as real-time price and demands and trade. This information can help farmers and make the informed decisions about and what to grow and when to sell. The Ajmarket portals. Supply chain management. E-technology platforms can help the farmers to manage the supply chains more effectively. This can involve tasks such as tracking inventory and forecasting demands and managing transportations and EG. ITC has used its the Copal network to expand direct from the farm produce procurement and over the past 20 years. Conclusion. India food the requirement is likely to go up and from the present level of the 330 million tons and to more than 500 million tons in 2015 even as the supply as the expanded to the fell 16% and due to the water and heat strength and hence in order to meet the growing demand and for the food amidst and shrinking land sizes and there's need to the involve e-technology as a powerful ally in the transforming the agriculture landscapes. State the objective and the methods of land reforms in India and discuss how land sellings and policies on land holding can be the considered and as and the effective reforms under the economics and criteria. Answer in 150 words. 10. Introductions. Land reforms in India and play a vital role in its the economic and by the land productivities and the alleviating and poverty, redistributing and land and ownerships, more equitability and safeguarding and tenant farmers and from the exploitations and enabling landholders to boost agricultural and the economics development and preserving tribal lands from the external encroachment body. Objective of land reforms in India redistributes land from the large landowners to the landless or marginal farmers. This the aims to the reduce land concentrations as and the promotes social justice to promote the right of the tenant and the sharecroppers by providing to protect the right and to the of the tenants and the sharecroppers and by the provide them with the security of the tenor and fair rent to consolidate and the fragmented and land holdings to make the agriculture more effective and abolition of intermediaries and it the site to the eliminated intermediaries and like the landlords and money lenders who exploits the farmers. This was done through the abolitions of the intermediaries and rights to inland to establish accurate and update land records and provided land titles to the landholders. Methods of land reforms in India. The Agricultural Land Sellings and Holdings Act of 1960 and was enacted by the Indian Parliament to the incentivize and encourage state and to implement and reform land reforms. At the state level, state abolitions of intermediaries and act several states in India enacted the abolitions of intermediaries act into eliminated intermediaries as other landlord and the money lenders and who often the exploited farmers. Bihar Zamindari Abolitions Act 1948 Tenancy Acts and were the enacted to protect the right of the tenants and sharecroppers. Thus, the Space Act provided security of tenants and the ensures fair rent for the tenant. Bombay Tenancy and Agriculture Land Act of 1948 in Maharashtra and the Budan movement. The commenced in 1951 under the leadership of the Acharya Vinoba Bhave. In this, the movement and landowners and the L Drastically. Land allocatically and contributed, and where the land holdings and with the nobles and the intent of relieving landlessness among marginalized sectors of society. A land selling is the policy and that limit the amount of land that an individual or corporation can acquire. The purpose of the land selling is to prevent the concentration of land worshipping in the hand of other few peoples or entire. Land selling policy on land holding as and the effective reforms under the economic criteria. Equitable contribution of land. Land selling policies and promoted the equitable land distributions by the curbing expenses and our ownerships, ensuring that more people have access to land from cultivation. For instance, Kerala and West Bengal had the successful land sellings. Increase agriculture productivity, larger concentrated plots allow for the economics of the scale, efficiency use of the machinery and improved farms management and practices. For instance, in Haryana, land selling laws led to the concentrations of land holding, increase income generations and reduce redistribution access land to the landless and marginal farmers through land selling policies significant enhances their the income and economic well-being. Stimulation rural economic growth as seen in West Bengal. Reduce tenancy. Exploitation land selling policies indirectly and benefits and tenants by the reducing the power of the large landowners and ban land holdings are the capped tenants and can the negotiates and fairer terms and rents and improving their the economic conditions. Tamil Nadu's an investment and land selling policy in Punjab Land Reforms Act 1972 and supported investment mechanicizations and the modern farming and boosting the agricultural outputs and prosperity's conclusion. Despite having the implementation challenges, land reforms and have played an important role in India in development. They have helped to reduce rural property improve and the agriculture productivities and promotes social justice. Introduce the concept of artificial intelligence and how does L help clinically diagnostics and do you perceive and any the threat to the privacy of the individuals in the use of L in the healthcare. Introduction. Artificial intelligence is a branch of the computer science and that deal with the creations of intelligence agent, which are systems and that can the reasons learn and act autonomously and all. Research has been the highly successful in the developing effective techniques and for the solving other wide ranges of the problems and from the game playing to medical diagnosis body all in clinical diagnosis, early detections and the diagnosis and all the driven and machines learning and deep learning model have made significant strides in the early and diagnosis of the critical diseases. Thus includes the cancer and the cardiac and arrhythmias and the predictions of stroke outcomes. For intense IBMs, the Watson and for the oncology and provided the treatment and the recommendation based on the patient and histories and research data enhances the accuracy. All excels in the interpreting and the medicals and images like the X-rays and CT scan and MRIs. For instant and all the algorithm and can precisely and the detect and cardiac arrhythmias and from the electrocardiogram, ensuring timely and interventions and patterns recognitions. All algorithm and extensive patient and medical records to the recognize patterns and predict diseases. In India, this aid in the identifying risk factors for the conditions like the diabetes and hypertension among the large populations. Robotics, the process and the automations, and this the include the task and like prior authorizations and updating the patient's records and the billings produced and the reducing administration's burdens on the healthcare staffs and RAP, RAPA on not only the increased efficiency and but also the lower operational costs. L guided treatment recommendation. L the conducts and the comprehensive analysis of patient genetics and the medical histories and lifestyle to the custom tailors and the treatment plans for the optimal effectiveness. Israel Health Tech Films and the Geneticas is using stem cell technology and the artificial intelligence and software to the match in antidepressant and to the patient and minimize side effect. Medical image analysis and the algorithm Excel aid the scrutinings and medical images like the X-rays, MRIs, and CT scan detecting abnormalities and tumors and fractures. Notably, Google DeepMind has pioneered and all for the diagnostic eye diseases, health monitoring, wearables, health the tricks such as the Fitbit, Apples, and similar devices monitoring heart rate and activities levels, and they send exercise and reminders to user and share this data and with the doctor and health system to the gathers additional patient and insight threat to the policy of the individuals in the use of the L in the healthcare. Privacy concern of one. Concern is that algorithm and can be used to the identified and track the individual without their the consent. For example, a hospitals in South Korea face the backlash and when it was the discovery and they used the patient and data without the consent and to develop the NL the diagnostic tools. Consent concern all powers the diagnostic tools and could be the used to make the decisions and about the patient and care without their the inputs or understandings. Surveillance is the rises of the remote monitoring and the all driven and tracking rises and concern about surveillances and personal freedoms and wearable health devices and for the instant and can be the repurposed for the non-medical surveillances and purposes, data securities and vulnerability and in the all system and can be the explored to gain the access to the instantly medical data and malicious uh, actors may targeted healthcare all platforms and to access the patient records for the purposes like the extortions or identity theft. Conclusion. Despite the challenges, the future of the L in the medicines looks promising and with the continued and research and development and we can the expert to see even the more innovative and effectively the applications of all in the healthcare in the years to come. Question number 6. Describe the several ways in which the microorganism can help in the meeting the current fuels storage. Answer in 150 words. Microorganizations and can aid in addressing the current fuel shortage and through a process called biofuels production, and for instance the certain bacteria and yeast can the ferment organization material like the sugarcane or corn to produce the bioethanols is a renewable fuel. Similarly, microalgae can convert the sunlight and carbon dioxide into the biofuels like the biodiesel body. Biofuel production less CO2 emissions. Waste seed stocks and the lignocellulose, sugar and yeast the liquids, and drop in alkanes and terpenes, enzymatics and conventions, bioethanols and biobutanol, less CO2 emissions, blending, crude oil extractions and storage refining, high CO2 emissions. Microorganisms such as the algae and yeast and play a pivotal role in the biofuel production, and algae, for example, has the gained and the significant attention for their the ability to convert sunlight and carbon dioxide into the lipid that can process into the biodiesels. India government step with the PM Jeevan, the bioethanols and blendings programs and EBP and the National Biofuel Policy 2019 has shown the result in the lowering import fuel demand. Biogas productions. Microwave are the essential for the production of biogas and through the anaerobic digestions and bacteria break down some organic matter such as the agricultural waste and the sewage to produce the methane rich and biogas schemes like the SATAT on compressed and biogas and the new nationals biogas and organization manners and programs, and NBOMP has the provided intended benefits. Best to energy solutions. Microfuel fuels. MFCs are other promoting technology that uses the microorganisms to convert the organic matters in the best water into the electricity and the microbial solutions. Microbial solutions are also being developed to the digest pesticide and provide can the alternative energy sources, enhances oil the recovery. Microbial enhances oil recoveries or MEOR can the contributor to the extending the life of the metals oil the reservoirs and optimizing oil extractions processes. For example, in the United States, the US of the MEOR techniques and has shown the promising and result, which increase oil production in some the yield by up to 50%. Biohydrogen production. Microbial production of the biohydrogen is other promising avenues for the clean energy generation and clean and certain algae and cyanobacteria are the capable of the producing hydrogen gas through the fermentation of organic matter. Conclusion. Thus, microorganisms stand as the versatile and allies in the fight to meet the current fuel storage while the advancing sustainability goal SGD and Goal 7 clean energy. Dam failures and are always the catastrophic, especially on the downstream side, resulting in other colossal and loss of the life and the property. And analyze the various uses of the dam failures and give the example of the large dam failures. Introduction. Integrity of the dams is the paramount for the safety of the both how humans live and valuable properties. Understanding the multifaceted uses behind dam the failures is the crucial in order to the prevent and such the disasters and to develop more the resilience and infrastructure body. Colossal loss of life and the property from the dam failures. loss of life. Then other dam fails and the repeat release of water can lead to the loss of the numerous sleeps, as people in downstream areas may not have the sufficient time to the evacuate. In 1979, the Machu Dam in the Borvi, Gujarat, failed due to the heavy rainfall and the improvised maintenance, killing around the 1800 to 25,000 people. Property damages, the unleashed and flood water can the inundate homes and business and critical infrastructure, causing the extensive property damages. The Tetons Dam in the Idaho, US in 1976 and collapsed primarily and due to the design and the construction flaw. Choosing high infrastructure and the property damages environmental impact. Dam failure can have the severe and the environmental consequences, including the destruction of ecosystem and contamination of water sources and long-term ecological damage. Various causes of dam failure. Seismic damage. Seismic damage, earthquakes and can subject dam to the strong growth and the shakings, and this may lead to the structural damage for the foundation failures. And Kobe earthquake, Japan 1995, and while not other dam failures, the Kobe earthquakes in the Japan caused damage to damage to dams and their the component. Erosion and piping. Erosion occurs when the flow of water and the erodes the soil or rock supporting the dam structures, and pipings. Other related issues involve the international erosions of dam material, creating channel through which water can escape. Extreme weather events, intense and prolonged rainfall, hurricanes, or typhoons can result in dam failures and due to the increased water inflow, exceeding the dam storage capacity. Kedarnath flood, India 2013, and while not other traditional dam failures, the catastrophic flood in the Kedarnath regions of Uttarakhand and India in 2013 was triggered by heavy rainfalls and the sudden release of water from other glacial lake outburst flood. Growth in mountainous regions and with the glaciers. The sudden release of the melt water from other glaciers dammed lake can the triggers a the globe. Thus event can lead to the massive floods and downstream posing other significant threat to the communities and the infrastructure. Human factors. This includes poor operations and decisions in inadequate and maintenance, conflict and war can contribute to dam failure. Design limitations and flaw in the original design, and including the inadequate and the spillways, improper materials on underestimated and water flow the calculations, and can lead to the structural weakness. Two examples of large dam failure: the recent and Derna dam collapse. Failures of to the roughly and 75 and 45 meter tall dams flow the heavy rain from storm. Daniel, against the backdrops of the librarian's civil war and resulting in the city of the Dharna and Kapovka dam failures. The dam in the Ukraine was breached in June 2023 and causing the extensive flooding along the lower Dnipro river, and many the expert have the concluded and that the Russia forced likely the belay up is a fragmented of the dam to the hinders the Ukrainian counters offensive. cases of the dam failures are the multi-phases and ranging from the natural and forces to the human-related and factors, and thus the cases and the understand the critical importance of the reversed the engineering regular maintenance and the diligent monitoring in ensuring the safety and the integrity of dams. What is the oil corporation? What are its impact on the marine ecosystem, and in what way is oil and pollutions and particularly harmful and for other country and like India? Oil pollutions and the occurs when oil or the petroleum waste and sustained are the released into the environment and particularly into the marine and ecosystem and such as the oceans and seas and the coastal areas, and this can be resulted from the various success and in the oils and gas. This can resulted from the various sources in the gas oil and gas value chain from the minings and the transportation as seen in the road like the deep water and horizons and held bodies impact on the marine ecosystem physical various oil farms in the stick on other water surface and creating other physical barriers that reduce the exchanges of the oxygen between the atmospheres and the water blocks and sunlight. This can lead to the oxygen depleted and areas known as the dead zones, and which are the harmful to the marine life and toxins. Chemicals, oil, and the spirit release other varieties of toxic chemical, including the polycycles cycle and additives and hydrocarbons and PAHs, heavy metals and robolites and organic compounds. They can interfere and with their the representative and the metabolic process and leading to the deformatize and reduce the growth and the health and food chain the disruptions oil populations and can the disrupt and marine food chain by affecting various the tropics labels and phytoplankton and algae and which forms the base of the many marines and food the babes can be the harms and why the oil exposures coral reef damages and oil the pollutions and poses other significant threat to the coral reefs and water are among the most and the biodiverse ecosystem on the planets and oil can the smoothers corals reducing their the availability to the photosynthesis and the ultimately leading to the coral bleachings and death and habitat destructions and oil the activity can smoothers and destroy sensitive coastal habitat and including the mangroves and salt marshes and thus the habits serve as the nurseries and for many marine species. Oil pollution is particularly harmful for other country like India. Biodiversity hotspot. India has the best coastline along the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal and covering around the 7,500 kilometers and which increase vulnerability in particular India host and biodiversity hotspots along its the coast and including the coral reefs and mangroves and steam is terrews and which would be particularly harmed by oil pollutions. Fishing communities India coastal regions and are home to the numerous fishing and communities that depend on the marine resource for their the livelihood. Oil populations pollution can lead to the contaminations of the resources and disrupting fishing activities. Land degradations and non-marine Oil pollution harms India's land and the oil, which are the already facing the burn of pollutions and climate change effect. Climate resilience, coastal ecosystem and such as the mangroves and the salt marshes play a crucial role in the climate resilience and by the acting as the natural buffers against storm surges and sea level rises. Oil pollutions can harm thus the ecosystem and the geopolitical factors. India strategics and locations in the Indian Oceans makes it are the significant transit point and for the international shipping routes, which increase the risk of oil and the spills from maritimes and the accidents and or the legal discharges and which can have the geopolitical implications. Tourism India coastline is other significant attraction for tourists and with the pristines and beaches including the 12 blue flag certified ones and corals reefs and the coastal landscapes drawing visitors. The would spectacularly be harmful and while the oil pollution. Conclusions. Thus safeguarding India coastals and the marine environments and from the harmful impact of oil pollution is not only an environmental imperative and but also other socio-economic and geopolitical necessary. Question number 9. Meaning of heart. Meaning of heart and mind. Mind in the terrorism. And affected area is other essential steps in restoring the trust of popular population. Discuss the measures and adopted and why the government in this respected and as part of the conflict resolution in Jammu and Kashmir. Answer in 150 words. Introduction. Meaning heart and mind and WHAM is other primarily principle of the counter-insurgency CI is other rooted in the history of the modern militancy and WHAM can be described and simple as other pupils and originated process for the established human, social and political linkage. Terrorism affected areas and for the common good and the contributing to the buildings the concept of the nationhood. Body figure 3. Pronaged approach to the WHAM pupils friendly military operations and civil actions development works and public information. Third, promenade approach to the WHO pupils friendly military operations, civil actions and development work, public information and perceptions management. Management operation zone comprising maximizing earring 4 P's. What is an essential stage to storage? कोई ये नहीं लेना हो ना देखिए बहुत ही क्या चाहिए का trust building open the communication channels and the community engagement are key to the fostering and trust and the collaborations are between collaboration between the government and the communities, and the communications and the communities in the counterings and the extremist and the promoting peace, removing support and the mechanism terrorism often the thrives, and when it the receiving impulse supports, whether passing or active from the local pollutions, and part of the winning heart and the mind is the dismantling the support mechanism, and the sustain extremist groups and youth the dissolutions, and the engaging with the disaffected youth is the crucial to prevent theirs requirement into the extremist organization, providing the opportunities for education, skill development, and meaningful employment, and can help the dissolution youth find alternatives to violence. National integration, celebrating cultural diversities, and ensuring the equitable access to the resources and opportunities can foster a sense of the inclusions and unity. Post-insurgencies and stability after the resolution of can the insurgency or conflict it crucial to ensures and the post-insurgency stabilities, and this the included and the revolting methods adopted by the government in the impact as a part of the conflict resolution in Jammu and the Kashmir abrogation of the Article 317, the abrogations of the Article 317 of the Indian Constitution in August 2019, and aims to the integrate Jammu and Kashmir and more the closely and with the rest of India's, and this the decisions and was the intended and to the promote development and provided equal right to the resident operation Sadbhavana. It is the Indian Army initiative started in 1998. In 1998, I am aided the winning the heart and the mind of the local population in conflict areas, which includes barrier communities and developed and welfare projects, youth the livelihood schemes, and this the included and vocationals and education and skill trainings, initiatives and likes the Himayat missions and Ustad Udan, Ummeed and the Nai Manzils. National integrations and tours the army conducts around the 100 national integrations tour for the youth Kashmiri every years, and where they are the included intro, introduced into the history, culture, and development opportunities across India. Mission Fehal, it was the launch in the 2021, and where the officers and the conduct face-to-face interface and with the Kashmiris youth to the registered grievances and build trust. PM Development Package, the packages for the Jammu and the Kashmir was 80,000 crores and included a range of the project and the initiatives aims at the improving infrastructure, connectivity, healthcare, education, and the overall development in the regions. Panchayat information. The government has supported the reformations of local Panchayat Raj institution in the Jammu and Kashmir and ward with the conduct of the fresh delimitations in 2022 and the fresh election to be hold soon. Conclusion. While the road to lasting peace and stability in Jammu and Kashmir is complex and the multi-faces, and thus the measures and reflected and the commitment and to the addressing the grievances of the local populations and providing the opportunities for the growth and the prosperities. It important to the recognize and that the successes of the thus initiative and dependent on the sustained effort and inclusive and dialogues and the involvement of all stakeholders in the region.